What's going on, Hood Nation? Nidge here, DFX, coming with the prediction coming up here. It's going to be Frank versus Leon. The first question I do have is, out of all the people for Frank to go up against, I'm surprised it wasn't Ash, or why wasn't it Ash from Evil Dead? That to me would have made more sense considering they're very, very similar in the aspect. In fact, I'm pretty sure Frank was probably inspired from Ash. Who do I think is going to win? Well, my prediction is going to be that Frank is going to win. And a lot of people are thinking, no way, Leon's going to win. He's got more arsenal. That's actually far from the truth. Frank has got way more arsenal as he can craft just about anything he gets his hands on. He's like the MacGyver of zombie survival, to really give you an idea, if any of you cats even remember who MacGyver is. As far as strength feat goes, I don't know how much strength will play a role for Leon, but he's definitely had some impressive feats. Like he's able to carry someone, aimlessly, moving boulders, when they solve puzzles. I remember there was a big ass fish trying to eat him, and he was holding its mouth open one hand and pop, pop, pop with the other hand. But that's not that's lifting. That's still not a strength. It's strength, but it's not striking power. So I mean, yeah, obviously he could pick up dude and toss him. As far as speed and all that stuff goes, it's like he could definitely run to avoid, getting shot at. But as far as the only thing I could see as far as his speed and agility is he can do that freestyle walking, or what you guys call as parkour, whatever, where you can kind of get around, not obviously on the level of Assassin's Creed. As far as durability goes, obviously he can get bit by a zombie and die, and he can get one-shotted by a lot of things he fights. I don't know if that's a game mechanic, you guys can take it or leave that, that feat right there. But I remember he got punched and went flying really far, or he either got thrown or punched, and he got up pretty damn quick. That's probably the most impressive thing I saw. I'm sure someone's going to auto-correct me with, like, all of that. Obviously, we're going to go down to experience. I know a lot of people like to throw experience in there, and here's my thing. Experience doesn't necessarily mean the upper edger is going to win. And the reason I say that is because let's take Samurai Jack or something, right? He's trained all his years, right, to be a good samurai. Take Zero from Mega Man X, and you tell me that Samurai Jack is going to take Zero from X. It's just impossible. Zero's only, especially Zero just waking up, he'd be 0 years old with 0 experience. I mean, you could even take another character. Take Goku at age 6, and he would destroy Samurai Jack. Like, it's that type of thing. He has obviously saved the world. He was asked to be, someone told me this, so I can't take credit for this. He ends up becoming like the president's right-hand bodyguard. So that's kind of like a kudos thing, which it does say something about him. But that doesn't mean that there's somebody else out there in the world that isn't better than him. Like, if I had to say between him and Chris Redfield, I would probably take Chris, but maybe I'm just being biased. I liked them both. I remember both games came out. But I digress. As far as Frank West goes, the strength feat, once again, I don't know how much it'll play into it. But to give you a perspective, if any of you ever played the game before, the way he attacks and fights zombies is like Dynasty Warriors. Like, he's got massive AoE cleaving. Like, he basically cleaves most of his attacks. To be able to swing something and knock over, literally, if you have sardined all these zombies in the one area, like 10, 20 zombies, and he could effortlessly swing and knock them all away, he's on some boss level shit that Leon has fought. Okay, and this is just a mere man. And he has kicked off people's heads before, mostly zombies, He stuck his hand through Kevlar. Like, that's one of his, he could just do that and fucking twist out your insides and stuff. So that right there alone is an insane death grip move that could be used against Leon. As far as the speed and agility goes, we'll go to that one. That seems to kind of be strength, speed, whatever. He has dodged bullets before, like Matrix shit, like bullet time, whatever you want to call it. So to me, he's going to be able to dodge whatever that's being shot at him. Obviously not always the case, but he's consistently shown he's been able to dodge them. Survivability or whatever. I know, just like Leon and them had a head-on, he had a plane crash, he survived. Well, so did Frank, it was a helicopter, and it got shot by a freaking missile. I think maybe Leon's was a head-on, though. Someone's going to have to auto-correct me on that. I remember my brother kind of educated me on some of this, too. I used to watch him play the game. there was like a tank or something hit him. I think he was in a Jeep, and he also survived that too. So we know that he can't just be pushed over as easy as a lot of people think. He's also taken on big bad bosses. They both have. It was Culture. I don't remember the names, but they've both put in some work. And a lot of people want to say, "Oh, well, Leon has, survived more stuff," and that's not necessarily true because if you look at how many times both of them have been in this situation, they've both been in it like 4 or 5 times. If Death Battle uses it, that obviously it's their show, but I'd be kind of disappointed to see that they say, "Oh, well, he's taking on tougher enemies." Well, just because someone's taking on a tougher enemy doesn't mean that they're tougher than you. It just means that they've had to take on tougher enemies. Unless it's a power scaling thing like Dragon Ball, you can't really use that. This is the one thing, though, that really is going to separate the two of them. Like, really going to separate the two of them. Frank has actually turned into a zombie before and survived. He actually was able to keep his conscious mind. He still had to eat like flesh and stuff, though he had to crave. But he can one-shot any human by spitting acid. I mean, unless Leon has some type of acid resistance someone can show as a feat. Here's what I'm going to say what's going to probably happen. He's going to get turned into a zombie. People are going to think he's done, but they're not going to realize. And Death Battle's probably not going to say this because it makes sense. They want to surprise everybody. He's going to get bit and you're going to think it's over. He's going to come back as a zombie and he can fucking jump. And when he lands, he fucking, like the ground behind, like concrete or whatever, like wood, like he's going to probably end up spitting on Leon or eating him. And then he's going to go find the cure. Because there is a cure in their world. As far as Resident Evil goes, you guys are going to have to tell me about that. I've kind of jumped off the Resident Evil train after so long because to me, it's not Resident Evil anymore. It became... Anyways, I digress, though. I don't want you guys to... I'm not hating. Like I said, I love both of the games for what they are. But at the end of the day, one guy is obviously made to have that scary survival experience, where a basic zombie can freaking pretty much almost easily kill you, like you can't really... I mean, one jumps on him and he's struggling just to get it off of him, right? While Frank Castle could sit there and jump on their shoulders and hop from each zombie. Like, he just makes the zombies look stupid, while Leon is like, unless these zombies in Leon's world are super duper natural and the zombies in his world are literally like level 1 peons in the forest of World of Warcraft or something. It's just the way that the two characters are made to play, and I just don't see how Leon can take on an action arcade character. It's a survival horror versus action arcade horror. Just when you take the two and you put them in a versus battle, you have one guy that can pretty much die in 1 or 2 hits, from weapons or what they're up against, while the other one can fucking do all this crazy wave clearing and all that jazz. So anyways, y'all, I hope you guys did appreciate this prediction. I know it wasn't well written or anything like that. I just wanted to shoot from the hip. Join me definitely for the Death Battle. And other people, especially check out Dual Dreamer. I'm sure he's going to put a prediction out. I know at first he already thinks that Leon's going to win. That was his impulse guess. As my impulse guess, I said at the end of Death Battle, I'm like, Frank's has got this. And I want to at least explain why I think Frank's got this. Because I don't think a lot of people really understand Frank. They just kind of look at him and like, oh, he's got a camera. Ha ha ha. Like, no, the dude is insanely... They're both supernatural in their own rights, but Frank is definitely levels above Leon. There's no doubt in my mind. Anyways, y'all, if you guys want to join Hood Nation, your chance to do so is going to be right here. And like always, we got that playlist to get your feet wet. If I ain't a cup of tea, I'll go find it. It's out there. Believe it. This is Nidge from DFX, and I'm out.